Mama Kwaba Sonko, Emra News, Ghana TV, or some for Sir Frank and so Matrasi Amade and some Echago Edebra. Medical Catcher said this platform there, it's all about the well-being of our dear nation, Ghana, and Tabribia and Simbia Babato Dribiano, near their Batni na ya disi is as a penny say, ye did the beam and a more any a can if ye ne. Unipa, ne want some Ababato Dra, and ye de Ebro Nina said, Openi Bakwa, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Abo Nidini, Anasa Sabri Puabaye, Openia Oshe Amanonin Semswo, Aye, Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, or the Zambia Batuga, and watch say, one day on can baby da, say Omoje. 15,000 Ghana cedi ewo mashibi dumfie nya no kore na yenua anase ni nua Afenyo markin de ono akra ya we ya che papai akanse biblia busua ye mohwini nkotie kwakwan dohu nchiremu a wode aba e de afa allegations bia ese wakoje airport hills dan abodene a de dollars atwitwiri die na eto wa justify achechim yenkotie Samuel Ablakwa, Samuel Ablakwa, Honorable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa eba ni abeto aso.
When during the vetting I said that I earn only 15,000 cedis. Did you hear me say that? Well, and the majority leader, Honorable Ayariga, addressed this on the floor, you recall, where he said that, look, MPs, we know how much we earn. We don't earn 15,000 cedis. We know that. Honorable Mahama Ayariga said that. At no point during my vetting did I say that I earn 15,000. We all know how much MPs earn. It is not 15,000 cedis. And in this discussion, what the Honorable Afenyo markin has also failed to tell the Ghanaian people is that MPs receive rent allowance.
You the MPs?
Yes, in addition, we are entitled to rent allowance. Because remember that in the past, MPs were housed. You remember we had the MPs flat, the Sakumono area.
Okay.
Then there was a decision that the MPs should rather receive, rent allowances, So in addition to base pay, we have, rent allowances and other allowances.
So is that what you're using to pay for the airport hills, where you are living?
Absolutely. You see, I have heard them engage in all kinds of illogical attacks. First of all, they claim that the airport hills property belongs to me. Mm-hmm. Yes. And then they put out fake flyers that they have discovered some documents they never published. When I intercept documents, I make them available for everybody to verify. I check with the sources, validate them. None of the documents I have put out in my oversight work has been described as fake. Mm-hmm. Or have I hidden the documents? I always make them available in the spirit of transparency and accountability. I challenge them today to produce the document they say they have, which shows that that Airport Hills land belongs to my sister. And then they say that, so I bought it, put it in the name of my sister, so I'm not paying rent. That was the first flyer they put out, the first concoction.
And that you are just misrepresenting.
Exactly.
You are paying rent.
Exactly.
That house belongs to you.
Yes, that
Airport Hills house doesn't belong to you.
It does not belong to me. It does not belong. And you see, I'm surprised at the level of sloppiness. Look, if I was on the minority side, and we say we have targeted this gentleman, my only crime in this is that I'm doing oral work. President Mahama says I should chair oral. And because of the work I did in saving this country billions and billions of cedis and dollars, protecting our state assets, that's my crime. So they made me a target. I should not go through vetting. With their micro-minority numbers, they say they will stampede my vetting and they will punish me because I sought to fight corruption and protect state assets. I campaigned against state capture. I have sponsored a private members bill, which I call the Public Assets Protection Bill, saying that politically exposed persons should not be allowed. They should be prohibited from purchasing state assets. These are my crimes. Mm-hmm. These are my crimes. Elsewhere, these decent-minded politicians will rally behind an MP like this and support him. They will not vilify him hound him and seek to just, denigrate and subject him to all of these cruel, baseless attacks. Look, as I was saying, if I was on the minority side, simple. Airport Hills, they have an estate management. Before the vetting, you saw how we were doing vetting. You saw the work we did. Honorable Muntaka, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, you saw the work we did. We will do our due diligence, our background work. We don't just get up and come there to settle personal scores. We will have gone there, written to the Airport Hills management, asked for documentation on the true status. That's what we will have done. They haven't done any of that. So in one breath, they say that the property belongs to me. I've put it in my sister's name, so I'm not paying rent. So in another breath, the same people, though, in another breath, they say that, how can you be earning 15,000 cedis? They know it's not true. I remember Afenyo Maki, he's an MP. He knows it's not true. That's not how much we are paid. He knows that we receive rent allowances. He doesn't want the Ghanaian people to know. They are not being transparent. They are not being truthful. He knows.
So you don't have property in your relatives' names?
No. I mean, why will I do that? I mean, Look, when I was asked about my Afenyo house, I said, yes, I own it. I built it. If you look in my asset declaration, and I was going to do that. You remember the chairman said that the asset declaration law, you declare your assets with the Auditor General. You remember? And I have the verbatim report here from the proceedings of Friday, 31st January. If you go to page 132, the chairman stopped me that we have an asset declaration law in our country. So don't be declaring your assets public. Or if you set that precedent, everybody who appears will have to declare the assets. So
have you declared your assets?
I've declared my assets. I'm always on time in declaring my. You declare your assets before you take office, then at the end. Yes. And I thought that they could even have I told them that, look, you can even go to the Auditor General and ask for, if the committee so desires, ask for a copy of my asset declaration. So as I was saying, the same people, the inconsistency, the illogicality, and they don't credit Ghanaians with common sense. One breath, he owns the thing. He's put in his sister's name. He's not paying any rent. In another breath, you say that, he earns 15,000 cedis and he's paying rent. And I've heard all kinds of outrageous figures. They say $15,000, $20,000. Look, fortunately, Alfred, and this is exclusive to you. Even though, if you read page 132 of the verbatim report, the chairman of the committee said, when I was asked, and I said, Mr. Chairman, if you want me to share my tenancy agreement with you, even though I will have to seek the permission of my dear wife because we do it together, I have no qualms about that. Then the chairman rules that please do not proceed. It is not in the interest of the committee to be demanding your tenancy agreement, let alone how much you pay as rent.
So it was at the instance of the chair.
So when Afenyo Markin goes around saying that I was asked and I didn't produce, and they are all over the place saying that, I'm hiding, I claim my landlord has traveled and that I can't find my tenancy. Blatant lies. These proceedings were live. The verbatim report, read page 132, is here. The chairman said that would not be necessary, and the proceedings were live. But despite this, because of all the vicious attacks, corruption, fighting, those of us who want to stop the hemorrhage, stop the bleeding, I decided to write to the estate management that, look, I just want to settle this matter once and for all. So I wrote to the company called Finale, who are the managers of the Airport Hills properties, and told them that, look, even though the chairman, because I know everybody followed the proceedings, even though the chairman said this would not be necessary, I am writing to you, something the minority could have done. I'm writing to you, I want you to do full disclosure. Do I own a property at Airport Hills? Am I renting? What's the tenancy agreement? What are the rules? You've also heard them say that, even Airport Hills, you cannot rent. You've heard them say that.
Yes,
blatant lies.
Because of how much you said to be earning. And that's 15,000, which you say is not the case. You are earning more than that. But on the report you just read, it's saying that the rent is catered for by yourself and your wife.
Yes. Okay. We signed the tenancy agreement. So if you don't mind, can I read the letter I wrote to Finale
I think we have a copy of that letter.
Yes, very quickly.
Let's put that on the screen.
And then I can confirm to you that Finale has responded, and we have forwarded same to the appointments committee, and I've asked that it should be made public. Okay. I have nothing to hide in this matter. So this is the letter.
Committee to make this information public.
Yes. So on the 3rd of February 2025, I wrote this letter to Finale Limited, and I say, dear sir or madam, request for confirmation of my residential status at plot number 565, number 1 Wilshire Boulevard, Airport Hills, Accra. On Friday, January 31, 2025, I responded to an invitation from the Appointments Committee of Parliament to be vetted as Minister for Foreign Affairs following my nomination by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana. During the vetting proceedings, questions arose about my residential address, the nature of my occupancy, and the ownership of that address. I am by this letter granting consent to Finale Limited, the managers of Airport Hills, to provide information to the Appointments Committee stating my residential status. In the spirit of full disclosure, kindly be at liberty to also indicate the owner of the property in issue with the hope that the owner shall also consent. The size of the land, because you heard Nutiwu say in Parliament that it's a 4-plot, it's a very palatial structure, and all of that. So I said, we want all that out. The size of the land, they should put all out. And then I also asked for their policy on rental. Then I conclude the last paragraph. Even though the record of proceedings will confirm that the Honorable Chairman of the Appointments Committee disallowed further inquiries on my tenancy, I have decided to pursue this path in accordance with my personal principles of transparency, accountability, and in the larger public interest, particularly considering that I have absolutely nothing to hide in this matter. Counting on your cooperation, sincerely, signed Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa.
Okay. So that's the copy of the letter.
3rd February 2025.
About. This one.
Despite the chairman's ruling, yes, this is the letter. Unfortunately, yesterday, I received the response from Finale.
Okay. That is the estate managers
of Airport Hills. And this is what they have sent to the Appointments Committee, despite the chairman ruling that it will not be necessary. I just want to, because of the mischief out there.
Is that what is on the screen?
Yes, that is.
So they've written to Bernard Ahiafo?
Yes, they've written to Bernard Ahiafo, the chairman of the Appointments Committee. Attention, Honorable Bernard Ahiafo, February 6, 2025. Request for confirmation of my residential status at plot 565, number 1 Wilshire Boulevard, Airport Hills, Accra. The letter reads, letter dated February 3, 2025 on the above subject matter, directing us to send our response to the chairman of the Appointments Committee refers. With the consent of the homeowner and the tenants in the above subject matter property, we conducted a thorough search of our files. Our records show 1, a land title certificate issued on December 15, 2017 and registered as GA 53985, Volume 2, Folio 1440 for a parcel of land measuring 0.29 acre, one plot from Finale Limited to Husni Altibe. Husni Altibe, our landlord is a Jordanian.
I see.
Husni Altibe, he's not my relative. I don't have any Jordanian links. The letter continues. A tenancy agreement dated March 1, 2017 between Hosni Altibe and Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa and Noella Seduda as my wife, for which we granted our consent on August 8, 2017. A renewal agreement dated March 1, 2022. The tenancy is still subsisting and the requisite consent has been granted therein. Kindly find attached copies of the documents for your reference. 1, land title certificate dated December 15, 2017, consent certificate, 2022 renewal, tenants undertaking signed in 2017 and 2022 respectively, lessee's acknowledgement 2017 and 2022. Airport Hills is an owner-occupied community with a very limited number of rentals, subject to the consent of Finale Limited. Thank you, yours sincerely. This is signed by Benis Among, Director of Administration. So the propaganda that I own it, they have been exposed. The propaganda that it belongs to my sister, they have been exposed. Here, the owner, the property belongs to Hosni, a Jordanian. the records also show that it's just a small one plot. The records also show that Airport Hills allows for rental. So it is not true when they say that, oh, so you see, they are so sloppy. And I know it's deliberate. They just, and if you listen to them, it's all because of Oral. That, Mr. Oral, he's going around, he's saying, why are we buying land for 42,000 cities? Why are we trying to buy hotels, Nate hotels? Why are we doing National Cathedral for $58 million? So he should come to Equity with clean hands. So we have to smear him. Even if there is nothing to smear, there is nothing, that I've done. Look, Alfred, let me state that I have served this country in many capacities. I've been Deputy Minister for Information. I've been Deputy Minister for Education. I've been MP all these years. At no time has any adverse finding been made against me. There is no Auditor General's report where you find my name that have diverted funds or taken anybody's money. At no point in time. I have attended upon my duties with utmost integrity, making sure that I do not disappoint the people of our country, particularly the youth, who have so much expectation.
Yes.
So if my crime is that I accepted this Oral appointment, and you heard them in Parliament, oh, Mr. Oral, and he's harassing us. He doesn't want us to buy state assets for cheap, and he's preventing corruption, preventing bleeding. So we have to go with him. We have to deal with him. He who thinks he stands should. You heard some of the scriptures they were reading. Should take heed lest he fall. Should this be about? And when you listen to them carefully, it's as though you see politics in Ghana now is become looting, robbery. Come and join us. Why are you trying to portray yourself as a saint? I haven't said I'm a saint, or I don't seek sainthood. I just believe that we should have conviction in our politics, that this is a country where so many people are suffering. Look at the millions out there who can't have jobs. There are no factories. Our factories are collapsing. People can't have potable drinking water, can't have hospitals. Even sometimes some things as basic as incubators. Preterm babies are dying because we don't have incubators. That $58 million we've sunk in a pit. Imagine how it can re-equip all our hospitals. You heard Otumfuo the last time complain about the state of Komfo-Anokye. All of these billions and billions of dollars that we are losing, and you ask yourself, is it a crime to say that let's all come together and try to protect state resources, protect state assets? It's not about sainthood. It's not somebody saying that he is Mr. Saint or he is an angel. I have not claimed that status. All I'm saying is that our politics can be decent, can be clean. We can, stop the hemorrhage and rechannel those resources to improving the lot of our people. Is that a crime?
Okay.
Should I be crucified because of that? And then they engage in all of this fabrication.
I was trying to win someone. Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa, or Diabatuga, no watch say, or no. Ni trimu fan yesu trimu fan so atano nchewo di ode bibia chese sabi fie na otim ana se fie na nkofo ka no eyotan hunu na ne bone oye nyina na se odi Oral yes adwumaku a ehwe na nkofo a ewia aban sase ana aban japade no wotumi boama ya je from nsem a save woman billions of dollars na nkofo na to time no said what we on pacho na so do comment at the comment section that is one in the yatria so on yatria so a but so the comment ebeba our comment section ni nyina so message so nya subscribe to the channel like program no na share for man nkofo no bia enya bi enhwe